But I did just find it kind of interesting on what you're doing on there, and that's why you're here today, because we like to connect people with things that are going on in the county, and so we've kind of come up with like the top 5 spots of Harford County where Jen has kind of gone to and maybe highlighted on our Instagram page. So again, if you're a young parent and you're looking for cool things to do, this is the Instagram page to follow, because Jen has really done a good job with highlighting some of these, cooler places. And you've been, I'm sure it was probably tough to limit it down to 5.
Yes, it was so hard, especially because I was thinking of all the different places I like just for myself too.
Sure.
So, and that's how I came up with the name Harford Mom Spots. It's like some of it's playgrounds and little kid things, but some of it's like stuff I do, or like date nights and places I want to go.
Yeah.
So trying to come up with a good balance between, a mom page, but also like stuff I love. That's how we ended up with Harford Mom Spots.
It is Tim here with the TMA Connection, a local podcast focusing on bringing you the people that are making a difference in the lives of others in our community. And I am super honored to have a friend from back at the old school, Bel Air High School, to bring you here today. But not about Bel Air High School. We're actually going to be talking a little bit about a side project that Miss Jen Mayo, is in the house today. Jen, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Yes.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is so cool. Give everybody a little bit of a background about who you are, and we'll talk about what brings you here today.
Okay, great. My name is Jen. I'm a math teacher at Bel Air High School. I've been there for about 13 years. This will be my 13th year in the fall. And I'm a mom of a 2-year-old little girl named Josie, and she's my obsession. So
she is a cutie. Yeah. She is a cutie.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. And then, of course, you're married to the one and only.
Yes. My husband, Brandon, is great. We've been married for about 3 years.
Okay.
Our anniversary was last week. We just celebrated.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
How do you stay married for so long to such a man who's just so amazing? That was one of my prep questions to Jen in the email. So we weren't going to ask her that, but then you know what? What the heck?
He is great, but I'm pretty great too. So
yeah, I think
he's got to live up to me a little bit sometimes.
Wow. Yes, I try to live up to my wife too. Try as best as I can. So awesome. So you said you've been a teacher for 13 years. You're a math teacher. Mm-hmm. And what's your favorite math subject?
Algebra. So I teach Algebra 1 and Algebra 2.
Okay.
And I love them. They're easy, in my opinion.
Okay, cool. Algebra can be tough for some kids. So, it was definitely tough for me in high school, but I learned to love math. So, anyway, but we're not here to talk about Bel Air High School today, right? We're here to talk about your new venture out on Instagram. And it's a page that you guys need to follow called the harford.mom.spots, right? Yeah. Harford.mom. What is Harford Mom Spots?
All right, so Harford Mom Spots is a page I started to share cool places for moms, kids, and dogs on Instagram, just because people are always asking me like, hey, where should I go? Or like, what's it like at this park? Or what's the bathroom situation at that playground? And it just kind of all turned into a big page.
Yeah, and a big page it is, because in 2 months you've grown to 1,100 followers. Yep. You're an Instagram sensation, or a what do they call those influencers? I guess
I would love to be an influencer.
You would love to be an influencer.
Thank you.
but and of course my youngest is 12, and then we have the 18 and the 20-year-old. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily did it interest me, but I did just find it kind of interesting on what you're doing on there, and that's why you're here today, because we like to connect people with things that are going on in the county, and so we've kind of come up with like the top 5 spots of Harford County where Jen has kind of gone to and maybe highlighted on our Instagram page. So again, if you're a young parent and you're looking for cool things to do, this is the Instagram page to follow, because Jen has really done a good job with highlighting some of these, cooler places. And you've been, I mean, I'm sure it was probably tough to limit it down to 5.
Yes, it was so hard, especially because I was thinking of all the different places I like just for myself too.
Sure.
So, and that's how I came up with the name Harford Mom Spots. It's like some of it's playgrounds and little kid things, but some of it's like stuff I do or like date nights and places I want to go.
Yeah.
So trying to come up with a good balance between, a mom page, but also like stuff I love. That's how we ended up with Harford Mom Spots.
Yeah, and you and Brandon got a date night out probably a couple weeks ago, I think, and it was one of the posts that I saw, and you had gone to our good friends down at Pairings Bistro.
Yes, we just went there for our anniversary.
For your anniversary. It's a great place. We actually did one of these podcast interviews with the owner, John, and
nice.
He's a super cool guy, and they do so many great things. So that's little plug out there, John Kohler at Pairings Bistro. Great place to go. So let's crack it in.
All right.
Crack it up into the top 5. Do we want to go backwards, like a top 5 countdown? We'll start with number 5 and go to number 1.
Sure.
All right. Take it away.
All right.
Number 5.
All right. So top 5 spots to take young children in Harford County. So number 5, I'm going to say we rock the Spectrum Kids Gym in Forest Hill.
Okay, awesome. And I've heard some things about this place. Tell me more about it.
All right, so it's an indoor play area for kids of all ages and also for people with special needs to like get movement, play around. But it's a really cool place. The whole floor is like padded. You have to wear your socks in there.
Okay.
So pack your socks because if you don't, you have to buy a pair when you get there.
Okay.
But there's like little things for kids to climb on. There's a zip line that goes across the room. There's a big trampoline inside with like balls in it that bounce when they jump.
That is so cool.
Basketball hoop. And then there's a bunch of these creative swings. Like one of them is a tire that's been cut into the shape of like one of those John Deere tractors. It's
Okay.
like green and yellow paint all over it.
Yeah.
And you can stick your kid on and just watch them go around or spin in circles, and they love it.
Okay.
It's great.
All right. And is there a cost to this place?
Yes, it's $14.
Okay.
So you only have to pay for your child. The parent can tag along for free. I mean, because you have to supervise them. You can't just stick them in there and run away.
See ya. Going to Pairings Bistro.
All right. Wouldn't mind, but
Yeah.
now you got to follow them. And my daughter's 2, and she could do a lot of the things.
Okay.
She was afraid of the zip line, but I did bring it up empty and just kind of let it go down and let her watch it, and she thought that was cool.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you got to be there to spot them and boost them up a little bit.
So
They're
a
small.
big interactive indoor playground. And
Yes.
what was that called again?
We rock the Spectrum.
We Rock the Spectrum. And where is it located?
Forest Hill.
Forest Hill. Awesome. That was number 5.
Okay.
All right, number 4. Let's
All
go.
right. Number 4, another great indoor spot is the Havre Grace Library.
Oh.
They actually have a huge indoor kids play area called Schooner Cove.
Okay.
It's like a big wooden pirate ship and a little ranger station and like a little crab themed area for crawling babies.
Right.
And there's tunnels and there's things that light up. And there's a big power sign that says Schooner Cove, and the kids can move these levers up and down.
And is this relatively new?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly when it opened, but
Okay.
it still looks brand new.
Okay.
It's nice and it's free.
That I was going to say Harford County Public Library.
Yes.
It's free. That's awesome.
So it's a good free spot to check out if you're on a budget like I am a little bit in the summertime. That's your good spot next time it rains.
Fantastic. All right, Josie's number 3.
All right, number 3, Rockfield Park Creative Playground.
Okay.
They have a water feature there where there's pumps and water comes out and like the kids can run through it and splash and play.
Huh. Now, is that down like right at the entrance of John Carroll, like in that
Yes.
playground right there?
Yes.
Oh, that must be something new.
Yeah, so drive like you're going to John Carroll, but turn right and park right there in the lot.
Okay.
And you'll see the water feature as you approach the playground.
Okay.
It's only on in the summer, but it's usually Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Anna, do we remember having that? No? She doesn't remember. She doesn't remember. Probably very new. Okay.
It's nice. Moms, you should bring the dad that day so he can pump the water and you can enjoy and just watch and take pictures.
Okay.
That's what I did, and it worked out great.
Fantastic. And again, how much is that?
Free.
Free. Boom. So another activity to do during the summer though, for free. Right there off of right there off of 22.
Yes.
Right at John Carroll.
And
Okay.
besides the water feature, they have a huge wooden playground. There's a sandbox, there's slides, swings,
Okay.
a big spinny thing.
Yeah.
There's also a walking trail there, so after your kid plays, you can stick them in the stroller and you can take a walk and enjoy and
That's
have your
fantastic.
own playtime.
Fantastic. All right, number 2.
All right, number 2, Tydings Park Playground in Havre de Grace.
Okay. So, all right. So I do know that one. That's right at the top of the hill of the marina, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about it.
So that playground is huge. They
Okay.
actually have a miniature lighthouse with a slide that comes out of the lighthouse.
Okay.
It's adorable.
Interesting.
Yeah, and there's stairs to get all the way up to the top, so it's easy for you to follow your child, because my daughter was a little afraid to go into the lighthouse part. I had to kind of push her through to the slide, and she was okay once she saw the slide. But it's really cool. They also have a part that like swings. It's like a little boat, and it moves back and forth. And then, of course, there's big kid playgrounds, too, where they can really climb on things and go down a really tall slide. And...
So with this playground plus the one near John Carroll, it's not just for little ones. It's for big ones, little ones.
Yes. Yeah, they have areas that are for 2 to 5, and then the other structures are for 5 to 12.
Wow.
That's kind of how all the playgrounds seem to be set up that I've stumbled across. There's like a toddler area. And then
Havre Grace is such a cool town. I mean, for anybody that's not from Harford County, if you need to visit somewhere in Harford County, it's going to be Havre Grace.
Yes.
They got the promenade down there by the water for walking, taking the walk after the playground in the stroller.
Exactly. That's where I was going to go next.
Okay. Gosh.
Well, this is still number 2. It's all
this
spot.
is this is 2B.
This is 2B. Well, they're all like that because if I get out of the car and I'm loading up this stroller and we're having a day, like we're out of the car. We're out of the car for a while.
There you go.
So after you play at the playground, or before, if you know you can't get your kid off the playground, you can walk the promenade. It's about a half a mile, and it takes you down to the lighthouse.
Okay.
And it's really pretty views of the water. There's a pier out there. You can take pictures. You can have a picnic in the grass next to the lighthouse, or just let your kid run free in a field.
That's where all the high school seniors, a lot of time, they go to take their pictures at prom and stuff like that. It's just beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. People even get married right in front of it.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool spot.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So that was 2A and 2B, right?
Yes.
I mean, do we need to take a commercial break, before we go to what? No, we're not going to be like Ryan Seacrest. This is my show. Today's show is sponsored by... No, I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to number 1 now. The number 1 place in Harford County where you can take your young ones is...
The number 1 place to take your kid in Harford County is Annie's Playground.
Annie's Playground. Okay.
Annie's Playground is amazing. It's this huge wooden structure. There's slides. There's ladders and things to climb on inside of it. And they also just redid the toddler section with a whole brand new, like, king and queen seat themed playground.
Interesting.
It even has a little throne with a king crown and a queen crown for the kids to sit on.
Okay.
And it's nice. It's made out of like Trex. It has a nice rubber mat on the bottom, so if they fall, they don't get splinters or anything.
Yeah.
It has this crazy seesaw. It's like a 4-person seesaw, so you can like get on there with your kid and like other random playground kids, and just this thing bounces up and down.
Right.
It's really cool. And they've got like a big, kind of like a tire swing, but without the circle, in the middle.
Yeah.
You can just throw your kid, they can lay on it, and you can push them back and forth.
Yeah.
There's a rope climbing thing. There's musical instruments. There's like a little house they can go in and play house.
That's so cool.
It's crazy.
Being an ex-PE teacher and thinking about like these kinesthetic type things that they can do and experience is, I think, very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the toddler section does have a fence between the big section.
Okay.
But it is connected, so they can get through to that area, but it is easier to keep them contained.
Yeah.
Annie's Playground is pretty large, so that's something that you would want to bring the dad or a friend to as well, just so that you can keep a pair of eyes on them, because my daughter definitely crawled away from me through a tunnel where I couldn't fit. She kept going, and I had to back out and go around the structure, so she was lost for a good 2 minutes. But it can be a little intimidating if you're somebody who is not going to be able to fit. Like, I could not fit through there.
Right.
I'm 5'10", so I can't do little tunnels.
Right. It is a monstrosity of like, you look away for 2 minutes and then all of a sudden it's like, where did they go?
Yes.
But nonetheless, a very nice place, a nice safe place, a great playground.
It's gorgeous, but that's the one where I would say bring a friend with you just to have an extra set of eyes. If your kid's older and you scream their name and they come right out, you're probably fine. But
fun fact, my wife and I helped install one of the monkey bars there at the playground when they originally built it, and the Cumpston family who built Annie's Playground and everything. Just a phenomenal family, great people. So
it's such a cool place.
Yeah, really such a cool place. Awesome. All right, I'm going to throw you on the spot because I know I prepared you with some questions, but I'm going to ask you one that I didn't prepare you with. Okay. So somebody's watching Josie tonight. Mm-hmm. Where are you other than Pairings Bistro, because we already mentioned them?
Yes.
Where are you and Brandon going out on a date tonight?
Independent.
Independent Brewery
Yes.
Company. Tell me more.
I love Independent. That's one of our go-to spots. We usually bring Josie with us, but now that she's a little bigger, she tends to just run away. So we can't sit at our table. She'll want to explore. And I think she could probably sneak out the back there if I wasn't paying close attention. Like in that, like, they have the grassy area with the fence where kids can kind of run around and play cornhole and stuff.
Yeah. It's a really nice place. They've
Yes.
really boosted out their outdoor entertaining areas. They got the food trucks that come in there.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say next. The food trucks are great.
Yeah.
And I love that it's like supporting local business. I think that's really cool.
100%.
My dad was self-employed, and so I always have a special spot in my heart for small businesses or anybody who's like working on their own, trying to do something.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm gonna get you with just a few more follow-up questions. Little closing out there. Somebody recently just won that $1 billion jackpot. One person I heard.
Yeah, somebody in Illinois. A little jealous. Could have been us.
But if it were you, if you won the $1 billion Mega Millions, what's the first thing that you would do?
First thing we would do is buy a house.
Buy a house.
My dog deserves a yard. It's been too long.
Oh,
He needs a nice fenced-in area to play.
Okay. Well, that sounds fair.
Yes.
I'm sure we could find you something for under $1 billion.
I don't know. Just kidding.
Do you listen to any podcasts?
Not really.
No.
I'll listen to this one later.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Subscribe, TMA Connection, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you just recently read a book.
Oh yeah, there's a book that I love that.
Jay's gonna censor the title.
Okay.
So go for it.
All right. So the title is "The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a by Sarah Knight.
Okay.
It's awesome. It's kind of like Marie Kondo, where it's like, this doesn't bring me joy, and you throw away things you don't want. But it's kind of like for mental clutter.
Okay.
That's how she talks about it in her book.
Okay.
So, like thoughts of thinking like, oh no, people aren't going to like this if I do that. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And she would say, you don't give a and tell you to just move on. And it's really cool because she has a bunch of different books in her series, and I've read most of them. Actually, she has a podcast too. I've listened to a couple of those. I almost forgot about it. But they're good.
So we'll have to tag that person in the comments section.
Yes.
And I think a great thing that we need to do too, guys, is we need to tag these 5 top places that people can connect with those places on Instagram or Facebook and stuff like that. Because again, like you said, it's all about local and helping people, helping the local businesses and organizations out and stuff like that. So
yeah, and Harford County has so much to offer. I mean, I grew up here.
Yeah.
And as a kid, sometimes it feels like, oh, it's boring. There's nothing to do. But there's so much to do.
In
and
Harford
it's grown
County.
so much now. And now as an adult, where like I can do all the adult things in restaurants and bars, but I can also take my kid to like these dozens of playgrounds that we have, because there's way more than just the 5 things we were telling you about.
There's so much more.
It's tons.
And so, in order to see those places, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Instagram at harford.mom.spots.
That's awesome.
Harford Mom Spots.
That's awesome. Last question.
Okay.
We're always talking about people that are making a difference, and that's the biggest thing that we're trying to do in real estate. And when I was in education, it's all about making a difference in the lives of others. And at the end of every show, I like to kind of honor one person that has really, truly made an impact on your life. Who would you like to honor today?
I'm going to have to say my mother-in-law, Deb Mayo.
Deb Mayo. Tell me about her.
She is awesome. Part of the reason I love my husband so much is because his mom is so great.
Okay.
My parents divorced when I was really little, and I didn't have a relationship with my mother growing up. I have a stepmom, but we're not as close as as we would want to be. But when I met my husband and got to know his family, she just accepted me in, and she's such a great person. And she was also a math teacher at Magnolia Middle. She also taught special ed, and it's really cool because I can see her, things that she's gone through that I'm going through too, especially with work or now with my daughter. And it's really great to have somebody, in the community who she's like my cheerleader and a great friend.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And I would just like to acknowledge you. You bring such a great energy and positivity to the students that you teach. I firsthand know this because my own daughter had you as her math teacher, who's sitting off camera right now. But you truly are making a difference. And math, it can be a tough subject to teach, but the way that you connect with kids is just long lasting, and you've done just a phenomenal job in you're going to touch so many people's lives. You've already have, and you're going to touch so many more as you continue your education career.
Oh, well, thank you. It's so sweet to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wish you the best with this this new side hustle that you're doing with the Harford Mom Spots. Again, on Instagram, harford.mom.spots. And so subscribe or follow you on Instagram. You can follow and subscribe with us on anywhere you download podcasts now, thanks to Jay of Jay-Z Productions. He's got us on every podcast platform that you could think of, from Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. You name it, you search it, you're going to find it. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and get the video portion of this. And please hit the subscribe button on there, because that helps us just grow and put out a good message. And if you know somebody who's doing something great in the community, please reach out to us. Let us get in contact with them, and they too can be sitting across from us, from me on this table, and filming an awesome podcast. So
yeah, this was really fun.
Did you like it?
I do.
I think this was awesome. This is the new digs. This is the new studio, and Jen's our first guest there. I thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course. Thank you for hosting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're doing great things, and keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks.
Until next time, folks, live your life to the fullest, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Take care.